A new Wordle puzzle is online. Click on the link to play.
Listening to the following video may give you clues. Please like and share the videos.
Philadelphia 76ers vs Heat. Danny Green out for Game 6. The 76ers, ahead. Danny Green is out for the rest of Game 6 after sustaining an injury to his left knee.
Philly Heart Joel Embiid accidentally landed on Green during a layup attempt, and PJ Tucker was caught in the pleasant hearth of the Sixers' middle. The preliminary reports suggest an extreme ligament injury.
Embiid and Harden are favored to win Game 6, but the 76ers' depth at the wing makes a tense situation even worse. Danny Green's injury.
On Sunday night, Philadelphia 76ers forward Danny Green left the game early after injuring his left knee. Green sustained the injury while going for a rebound and went down on the court.
Trainers arrived shortly after and helped Green to his feet. He then proceeded to the locker room.
The 76ers were left in a bind and will need to get through Game 6 without their star player. The Sixers will be without one of their best players after Green's injury.
While Green averaged just over 5 points per game during the regular season, he started all 11 playoff games and averaged 9.1 points and 3.4 rebounds per game. His absence will leave them shorthanded and in need of a big playmaker.
In Game 6, the 76ers trail the Heat 3-2. A loss would eliminate the team.
Although he only played 3 minutes, the team's staff downgraded Green's status from out of the way to injured after the clinching win. Miami now leads the series, and a lack of a backup will make the Sixers' chances much worse.
That's why Green's injury is such a big blow to the team. Despite Green's recent injury, the 76ers' offense is not yet a stout one, and the 76ers need all of their heavy-lifting players to produce.
Without Green, the 76ers would be out of the playoffs for the first time since 2001. And a win by the Heat would send them to the conference finals for the first time since 2001.
76ers depth on the wing. With only one healthy wing on the roster, the Philadelphia 76ers were extremely thin on the wing entering Game 6.
However, a second injury to the two-way wing, this time to Danny Green, ruled him out for Game 6 in the first quarter, has the Sixers' depth on the whim of Philly's front office. In addition to Green, the 76ers' depth on the wing is limited as Jeff Green is currently playing through an injury.
With Green out of the lineup, the Sixers have to rely on bench depth. They have to replace Green with someone who can score and shoot from outside.
Danny Green has been a productive player in the regular season but struggled in the playoffs last year, which was unfortunate for the Sixers. They have been forced to play undrafted free agents to make up for the absence of Green.
This lack of depth has put them at risk of losing this series if Green is not healthy. The Philadelphia 76ers have made a great trade for Simmons.
In exchange for the former MVP, the Sixers received Al Horford, Andre Drummond, and Danny Green in a sign-and-trade. While the Sixers were zigging by doubling down on Giganto Ball, other teams were desperately searching for wings.
The 76ers, meanwhile, were able to make a big splash in the postseason by acquiring Butler. It would have been impossible for them to make it without Butler, who could shoot, pass, and defend.
The 76ers have been searching for someone with the ability to replace Green's absence. The team has a long way to go since he was let go, and has yet to meet any of the goals they set for themselves after Green's departure.
Thibault is a decent defender and could help the team contain Jimmy Butler and the Raptors. Embiid vs Harden.
Joel Embiid's absence from Game 6 is understandable. The Sixers had a 20-point advantage over the Raptors when the center went down during a difficult layup.
Doc Rivers defended his decision to keep his best player on the floor, and Danny Green was livid that his star player was forced to leave the game early. However, Green, a Sixers veteran, did not seem to be hampered by the injury and played 22 minutes in the first half.
Despite the early loss, the 76ers remain in the playoffs, and they will need James Harden to take over the game in Game 6. After sustaining multiple injuries, they need him to lead them to victory in this series.
However, Harden is not able to do that. Danny Green will exit Game 6 early after suffering an injury to his left middle finger.
During the first quarter of Game 6, the Sixers were already thin on wings. During a layup attempt, Philadelphia's star Joel Embiid collided with Green's leg.
Green was on the floor for a long time and he was carried off the court. He will undergo an MRI on his knee, and he will not return to the game.
While the Sixers have good depth at their position, it will be difficult to replace Danny Green in the playoffs without him. Despite Green's strong performance, Embiid has been the difference-maker throughout the series.
Harden had more playoff games below 20 points than above it, and he was forced to sit out Game 6 early. He had only 2 shots in garbage time in Game 6.
And his teammates have remained largely unchanged. Despite his limited contribution to the first half, he has a chance to prove his worth as a playoff MVP.
Embiid's contract. Joel Embiid signed a new contract with the 76ers through the 2026-27 season.
The deal includes a player option for his final season. The Philadelphia 76ers don't have the same protection if he sustains an injury.
Embiid delayed his NBA debut by 2 years due to foot surgery. Despite his stellar play, Embiid has been plagued with injuries throughout his career.
Embiid has missed over 11 games this season, and he recently missed 7 games due to a bone bruise in his left knee. Embiid's salary is set to increase to $43.7 million in 2023-24.
In his previous contract with the 76ers, he'd earned million. His new deal is a Supermax deal that includes million in new Supermax money.
While the new contract may be a little excessive, Embiid is certainly worth the extra money. If he continues playing at his current level, he could earn more than $500 million.
Embiid's new deal includes a player option for his final year. If he opts out, he could hit the free agent market before the end of his current deal.
But the front office of the Philadelphia 76ers doesn't subscribe to this notion. Joel Embiid has already expressed his excitement about the new deal on Twitter.
His new contract is a sign that the Philadelphia 76ers believe in his future as far as the team is concerned. Embiid's new contract will keep Ben Simmons with the 76ers until the 2026-27 season.
He has played a crucial role in the 76ers' elite defense. But his contract with the 76ers is not the only big deal the Sixers have made.
They have already signed Tobias Harris to a Supermax contract with the team, which will keep the Cameroonian superstar in Philly until the end of his contract. Embiid's future with 76ers.
Embiid's future with the Philadelphia 76ers is in question as the team heads into offseason. The team's future is in doubt after a disappointing second-round playoff exit to the Atlanta Hawks.
The 76ers' future is in doubt after Embiid's rant against Simmons for not attempting a late-game dunk in the Hawks' win in Game 7 of the Eastern Conference semifinals. The 76ers women also expressed buyer's remorse after the 76ers traded James Harden for Joel Embiid.
Embiid's status is in question because the Sixers have yet to win a postseason game without him. This is a blow for the Sixers, who are still looking for a winning coach.
Joel Embiid is the face of the process, and the 76ers must find a center who can step into the big role that Embiid has vacated. Embiid's situation is delicate, but he must consider Harden's MVP candidate status.
The 76ers have to decide if they will extend the superstar center's contract. While he won the scoring title and finished as the MVP runner-up in 2017, the star has been stuck at a career plateau.
Embiid's comments will complicate this delicate situation despite the looming threat of losing Joel Simmons. The 76ers are still the top contender in the Eastern Conference.
Joel Embiid, 27, will likely be on the team next season. His 2-year extension with the team runs through the 2026-27 season, so a drastic move is in order to keep him.
Another change in coaching will not do the trick. Another coach can't guarantee Embiid a playoff run.